Alrighty, looks like we are rolling. Just very quickly double check that everything is okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's stream. Today we are going to be watching some Kingdom. That is the finest shoot-style pro wrestling with gloves, coming out of the corpse of the UWFI, while Nobuhiko Takada is going over and starting Pride. I've got a new webcam today, so I apologize. I'm going to be looking over here because that's where my actual screen is, but every now and then I may actually look up to you and make deep and meaningful eye contact. Today's stream is brought to you by the Kaktogi Road, as usual. That is thanks to my good friend Michael Betts. I've got a lot more video than I used to. What he does is he's currently tracing the history of MMA in Japan through the lens of kickboxing and through shoot-style pro wrestling and the various mixed fight organizations that sprang up in the early 90s. Each week, month, whenever he gets around to it, there is a little article which reviews a show, one of the big three, so UWFI, Rings, or Pro Wrestling Fujiwara Gumi, goes through that, reviews that, talks about interesting things, and that's kind of what goes on. Hello, Pride Resurrection, the most dangerous man alive today. This is the traditional stream get-up of my Kitao Dojo karate gi, and so that's just what I wear now, because I did it once and now I have to do it forever. So apart from that, we'll also throw a shout out to the most dangerous man alive today, because he has the Pride Resurrection channel. I made an appearance last time with my deep analysis. And also, buy shit from me. I make kick pads and knee pads and fucking shorts. And you can send me an email and I'll make you some sick pro wrestling and or martial arts gear. Seeing as we have exactly one person in the stream, it is time to press play on our Kingdom event. But, you know, I hope I've done the YouTuber thing and actually introduced everything adequately. This is Birth Step 1, the first ever Kingdom event. And you can see how little money and how low it is compared to the old, what's it called, UWFI. Alrighty, where's my thing? There it is. Exactly. Just buy some fucking shorts. Our man Eli Easy, the game hunter, he came on board and he's purchased 3 pairs for his fights in the American Pancreas organization. And here he is, Nobuhiko fucking Takada. I have no idea what he's saying, but he's probably introducing. Introducing the event that he's not fighting on. Might come back with some why am I watching UWF. Of course, that was a great series. Honestly, I'm always just happy to see this stuff. And people's thoughts on these old events, about how shooty, how worky, and how, you know, everything is. Yoji Anjo, looking great. Yoji Anjo is not next for the highlight treatment, but I think I'm going to do a highlight of Mr. 200%'s shoot style work. But we'll see whether or not I actually commit to that. Next up on the highlight video treatment is Leon Dyke, because he's very easy. He's only got 5 wins, and he's got some good performances in his losses. So, because he's got a short career, he's a very easy highlight to do. Unlike you guys who've got like 40, 50 fights, you're trying to pick the best shit. And Yuhi Sano, one of our favorites here in the Pride Resurrection extended family. Absolutely no idea what he's saying. My 6 weeks of doing Duolingo, I stalled out and stopped doing that, so I can say Ohio, and that's about it. That's the extent of my Japanese. Kakihara, looking jacked. It's amazing how much size that Kakihara put on between the UWF and start of UWFI, and then later on he was just a big old muscle beast. You got Kanahara. Looking great. Poor old Kanahara. When he got to Pride, they just straight up tried to kill him. They're like, oh, you've done really well. You've went to decision with a couple of really tough guys. Let's just throw you in there with Shogun Hua and fucking everybody else. The enormous Yoshihiro Takayama. I don't know what happened to him. Well, yeah, of course, Yoshihiro Takayama. For those that don't know, he got paralyzed in a pro wrestling match. He is currently going through recovery. I believe he's got full use of one hand back, which is incredible, given that he had basically no feeling below his neck. If you want to contribute to his recovery, you can buy various bits of Takayama merchandise. You can also buy the Yoshihiro Takayama DLC for Fire Pro Wrestling. So that is what I have done. That's what I recommend you guys do. Speaking of Fire Pro, my good friend Ye Lord has made Christopher Hazeman as a Fire Pro wrestler. So go and download that and throw spin kicks at people. Keiichiro Yamamiya drank the Kingdom Kool-Aid real deep because he got a Kingdom tattoo, which he then proceeded to get covered up, which is disgusting. How dare he? Ryuki Uyema. Oh, damn! I did not put 2 and 2. He would pretty quickly leave Kingdom and then go to Rings. Donjonsuke Matsui. Why did I say Donjonsuke? Daijiro Matsui. I was thinking of Bovi Chowai-kun. Interesting. So maybe we'll get some kickboxing today. I think that Boe is sort of taking the Makato Oe position in Kingdom of legit kickboxer who belongs to Kingdom. Should be an exciting event. Kingdom was pretty great, apart from the fact that it was completely broke, had no money, couldn't sell out a building. Yeah. Hey, Brow Perkins, welcome aboard the Friendo train. I'm live streaming. It's the first time for a while. It would be awesome if these Combat and Championship returned as a legit Wurin this time. Yes, I would love to see Shoot Style come back. For those of you that don't know, I have been professionally wrestling training for a little while. Debut's still a while off. It's very weird trying to adapt to actually professional wrestling in the current modern indie style. Because I find strikes the hardest. Because I want to throw strikes that'll hit people, but and then I'm trying to hit them in the wrong spot. And it just, it's fucking awkward. I'm getting there, but it's fucking awkward. So here we are. I think this is it's one of the cultural gymnasiums. Whatever it was, they didn't sell it out. There was a ton of empty space. Look how depressed everybody looks. They're like, oh no, we did not sell enough tickets today. Yamamiya, UFC Japan Tournament Champion. And welcome aboard various collection of Russian characters. I cannot pronounce that, I'm afraid. My Cyrillic is lacking. Pancras Wrestling is now over in the US, but not the same at all, mate. Indeed! So our good friend of the channel, Eli Easy E, has fought on one of those cards. There's some stuff going on, which I do not want to speculate about. What I have heard is mostly internet rumor. And I'm sort of compiling things. Maybe in a little while I'll assemble sort of a video about the whole story of how that promotion has came about. But for the moment, I don't want to jinx it. Why our mate Eli Easy is involved and still getting paid apparently. So we're gonna let it go and hope for the best. But yeah, Shoot Style should come back. I want Rope Escapes again. Sorry, but it's sort of really fake. Yeah. There have potentially been some works there. I'm pretty sure that Eli's match was a shoot, but we'll find out. I'll keep talking to him. He may or may not turn up today, and we'll find out whether or not my shorts have arrived. Okay, given that I put them in the wrong shipping, I put them in standard shipping rather than express. So of course I took the price down to reflect that, but I don't know how long it's going to take. They're in the US, but I don't know how long they're going to take to get to Eli himself, given that we're starting to get Christmas postage. They went all out on the light show to disguise the fact that there's no one in the crowd. And here we have the very jaunty Kingdom theme. But the problem with the Kingdom theme is it doesn't have enough variation. The loop's only like 30 seconds long. Whereas it needs to be about a minute or a minute and a half. Everyone brought sick ring jackets to Kingdom as well. Like, they put a lot of effort in, but it wasn't the right time for this sort of promotion to start up. And especially not with any money, and no hype, and no marketing, and just nothing. Ah! Sick 1990s tracksuits for everybody. I miss the days of sick 1990s tracksuits. I've been combing the thrift stores near me, trying to find some decent Canterbury or Adidas ones that I can sort of introduce into my everyday wear, but I have not gotten around to it properly. Here comes Slappy Kaki. Looking pretty great with his fade on the sides. We've gone past mullet Kakihara. We're on to fade Kakihara. Kakihara, for those of you who don't know, survived stomach cancer. He's got big old scars on him. He had the Kaki Ride shows, which were pretty fun. But yeah, that dude's a survivor. And still kicking, apparently. Not figuratively, if not literally. And from Kakihara, we go to Hiromitsu Kanehara. One of the better shooters to come out of the UWFI system. So I think in terms of shooters, it goes Tamura, Kanehara, probably Yamamoto. Trying to think who else was there. Oh, Riki Ueyama would have to be up there somewhere, but he kind of only shows up for this particular event. Trying to think who else comes out. Like, Kakihara had the one match on Jungle Fight. Takayama had a few MMA fights, but, you know, was always more impressive in defeat than in victory. Who's this skinny little person? I really should have pulled up the fight card. Once again, I have made inadequate preparations. I think maybe he's the opponent in the kickboxing match. Based on the fact that he does not have adequate soys compared to everybody else. Who the fuck's this guy? Whoever he is, he's got a belt of some variety. I'm inclined to believe it's an Iska kickboxing or karate belt or something like that. In fact, seeing as that shouldn't fuck everything up, I'm going to open up Kingdom Wrestling Cage Match. That'd be the one. Events. Apparently there was an event in 2021 in Mexico. Interesting. Alrighty. Caribou Mandingo is his name. Interesting. What a guy. One of the former legit pro wrestlers of catch wrestling, like Billy Scott, were pretty enthusiastic about it, specifically Guy Mezger, but now he's not involved with it. Yes, I have been talking to my good friend William Colosimo about the whole thing, and Eli while he's been involved. Because it's just, it seems like everyone got in with the best of intentions, but little understanding of of what level they were going to be able to get to in terms of shows. I think if they'd have gone out and started running what they are currently running, which is low-level sort of regional MMA shows, would have been a good idea, and then built from there with new guys. But Instead, they're trying to wheel out the corpse of Nate Marquardt and whatever else, and it's not the best idea. Caribou Mandingo. What a guy. What a name. And he is a very young, very baby-faced Ryukyu Uema. So obviously when Kingdom went under, he must have come across with Kanahara 2 rings. Or left the Takada Dojo and gone to U-File Camp. Because he was a protege of our main man, Kiyoshi Tamura. Here's Daijiro Matsui. Not one of the great shooters to come out of the UWFI and the Takada Dojo system. Just checking that everything's working. Now that I have a high-definition webcam, I can become the e-girl that I was always meant to be. Start selling my bathwater. I'm going to crack open a beer, ladies and gentlemen, because it is 10 o'clock on a Monday morning here in Australia, but I never work on Mondays, so given that Monday is my Sunday, I don't think anybody's going to object. Saku! This is a big roster. What's going on? I feel like the cage match listing for this event does not have the entire roster on it. It does not have all the matches that are on the card. And I always deserve a beer. I work hard. And look at everybody's in sick fucking tracksuits. This is what I miss. I miss this aesthetic. All the fighters in matching tracksuits in a ring with a couple of like foreigners who couldn't afford the gear, getting paraded out at the start of an event, and the crowd, you know, just rapt, paying attention. Chin chin, everybody. The closest we're getting is Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, but the last event was quite good, but still no ropes. Needs ropes. Needs rope escapes. Needs knockdowns. I need to finish my extremely timely reviews of Bloodsports 4 through 7. Look at Anjo. Literally just says thank you. And I believe that was How Are We All Tonight? And that I have no idea. Looking in decent shape, Anjo. Not, dumpy. Do I like it? Takada no Higa. Oh, okay. Bro Perkins, you're having a martini with me. Excellent. Oh, fuck. That sounds like something has gone on with my camera. No? It just made a noise for some reason. Well, whatever. Did he just call out Hickson Gracie? Oh, yes. It's talking about Nobuhiko Takada going on to fight Hickson Gracie. I don't know why they even got Takada out here. Never fought on a Kingdom card. Was barely involved. Was just kind of like the overlord. Sort of Akira Maeda from like 1999 through to 2002 in rings. Just sort of a floater. Hanger-on. And as much as I like Yoji Anjo, much as I like Sakuraba, at this time, you couldn't build a promotion of UWFI caliber around these guys. Especially not with no money. You need an Adidas tracksuit like a proper Russian, even though you're not a Rusky. Do you want to get into pro fights? I'm getting back into competing. I'm going to a mat comp a couple of weeks from now. So we'll see whether or not I actually commit hard enough to get back into fighting properly. We shall find out. We'll see how hard I get my ass kicked to my first grappling comp in 12 months. Fucking COVID, man, ruins everything. Nah, my plan is to join, become big in the world of pro wrestling with my complete lack of martial arts cred. like former UFC fighter CM Punk. Or Jack Hager. I mean, at least Hager was a legit wrestler. But his Bellator performances are thoroughly unimpressive. Given how long it took him to beat a guy who was brought in specifically to lose and was a fan of his. It's a problem with being that size, I suppose. It's difficult to get people to make you work. Ah, here we go. The traditional yeeting of merch into the crowd. I wonder how much those little Kingdom balls are worth now. Because I believe they've all been signed. My god! Kakihara is so unimpressed. He's like, they cut my paycheck to pay for these balls. The 90s was indeed a special time. Japan had a lot of money to rebirth UWF, just like these types of wrestling. King of Pancras, UWF, hybrid wrestling, and U-style. Yes, it depended on the time. So, I believe there was a bit of a downturn in 95. So, places like SWS and Fujiwara Gumi sort of went under and had to be repackaged and re-whatevered. Like, Fujiwara Gumi just went in 95 and became Battle Arts and started selling smaller shows. Rings survived due to the fact that it had become an interesting promotion and due to the quality of the product, whereas UWFI was falling apart, burning money the whole time, and they'd sort of ruined their own stuff by... As much as I liked the matches with Vader and Gary Albright, they didn't really build any of their own internal guys as credible challengers to Takada. It was just those external Western monsters, which Takada would lose to once and then beat, and then they would never be able to touch him again. And it was disappointing. Kingdom official rules. Alright, so the rules of Kingdom are weird. You're allowed to punch to the head on the ground, except in particular circumstances. The referee will shout hit at you if you're allowed to. But yeah, just... And Pancras survived because it was those guys that didn't have any backers. It was just them doing it. And Ozeki building it up. I think this is Uyema and somebody else demonstrating the rules. Oh, it's Wada, Ryogaku Wada, hardest working man in Japanese MMA and professional wrestling. You are allowed to hit while mounting. You are allowed to hit to the back while back mounting. But the moment you're on your feet, you're not allowed to hit people. Deeply confusing rules. Oh, nice. What the butthole, indeed. It was a very nice fireman's carry from whoever our young boy is. Another one! Oh, there we go. I was building a match on the weekend. I was having some difficulties thinking about how to start it off. So now, thanks to these fireman's carries, I remember that I can do that, and everybody else can take them. So we're gonna include some of them. I'm trying to listen to the Japanese to see if I can pick anything up, but I cannot. I think they're talking about the various styles of martial arts that are usable in Kingdom Pro Wrestling, but I'm not sure. Alrighty, what are we going to see here? Oh, no elbows. Ryugaku Wada showing off his Muay Thai skills. There will be an eventual old school shoots episode of that time that Ryugaku Wada beat the absolute shit out of Azteca on a deep card, but I haven't gotten around to that one just yet. And he was so jacked too. He had like TK in his corner. It was really cool. Fucking Deep, man. Deep was the shit. Deep was true Inoukism, in my opinion. None of that. Apollo Swede, welcome aboard. I did do the spiel. For those of you that don't know, Apollo Swede is where Michael posts some of his less rare events. For example, currently I believe there's just Pancras and a couple of pro wrestling events because he had to do a bit of a purge to escape the YouTube copyright bots, but that's just the way things are. So yeah, we got Kanahara, we got Kakihara, we've got Anjo, I believe we've got Sakuraba, we've got Caribou Mandingo. And here's Wada talking about throwing punches and how that's going to change the game. Look, it's hard enough to be a referee in like a normal pro wrestling match or an MMA event, let alone adding all these fucked up rules to it. Oh, talking about how they're going to make it more difficult on the ground, given the fact that you can catch the gloves in your armpit. I maintain that pro wrestling extension rules, or UWF rules, make for more exciting matches, due to punches being less of an option. I really find ground and pound finishes, despite having one on my own record, just kind of boring. Punching someone really hard is cool, but kicking someone really hard is even cooler. And so the fact that you've got no gloves means you can't punch to the face, means you can only punch to the body, means you have to palm strike to the face, makes for more interesting sort of striking exchanges. People can be a bit freer. Makes the grappling a lot more interesting because you're not like stalling out in ground and pound positions. You're constantly moving, trying to either get up or get a submission. Rope escapes just are cool, and knockdowns just are cool. So there we go. Which is my Instagram? Me? I have a pair. I have Ironbox MMA, or is it Ironbox Fighter? Whichever one it is. And I have Fleming MMA, which is my sort of personal one. And then Ironbox Fighter, which is sort of my promotional only one, which I haven't posted anything to for months. So there you go, you can check those out. I believe I've got them in the description. If I don't, I'll update the description of my next video that I upload to include them. I hope you're ready for lots of pictures of knee pads, because that's currently all that's going up there. Here comes Yamamoto. Does he have the Kingdom tattoo? Important question. I wish I was as cool as Kenichi Yamamoto. He's a cool guy. Yamamoto and Hazeman were kind of lazy back in 97. Or was it 98? 98. So Yamamoto comes over to Australia for the Rings Australia card, loses to Hazeman in what I believe is a shoot. And then they go back to Japan, and they literally just do the same match again. It's the same moves, except after the armbar that Hazeman finished with in their match in Australia, Yamamoto gets a rear-naked choke afterwards. It's ridiculous. Rey Peligro Garcia. Hey man, love your videos. Saludos from Runge, Texas. Well, welcome aboard, my Texan friend. I hope you're down for some Kingdom. It's been a while since I've spoken in front of the camera, because I've just been doing the highlights, which you should all go watch. Thankfully, you all have excellent taste, and the Kunioku versus Kondo video is the most watched one for the past little while. And that one, it's a favorite of mine. Even though it was just 5 matches, they don't do anything particularly amazing in those matches. Just, it was a really fun series to watch. Really fun series to, like, edit down into that highlight. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed those. Based on the pumped up views. Don't throw that away! Kingdom has no money. They're not going to pay you to get it back. There's Yamamoto. He doesn't have the tattoo yet. Boo! Looking great in the classic black trunks, shooter gloves, and kick pads. I've made myself a set of generic black pads, knee pads, and kick pads to go with all my various colored shorts. So I'm going to be the most fabulous man at this, at the coming Mat Comp, the South Coast Open, I think it's called. Yeah, so I'm going to go into the Nogi and the modified MMA rules there. So I'm going to be looking great, even though I probably will get my shit kicked in, because I have not trained adequately. Still got a couple of weeks, but, you know, that's not enough time to get in good shape. But this is just what I do. I take enormous breaks from martial arts, and then I go, I want to get back into it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to enter myself into a competition, get my dick kicked in, and then after that, train. Rather than going, I want to get back in. Yeah. I have my bootleg VGHS to this day. I pushed to bring shoot style on the indie scene in About Town, but nobody was willing to learn. That's kind of the issue I'm running into here. There's a few guys. So, if anybody knows about the Australian wrestling scene, we've got 2 Ishikawa-trained guys. That is Punch Drunk Istria and Sam Osborne. Both of them went over and learned from Yuki Ishikawa. Both of those guys have kind of shooty style, more battle art style. But I know that those guys would be capable. We also have Jake Androatha, who was an Australian Olympian in judo. So we've got like 3 guys, and me coming up. I'm not sure if I count yet. So, you know, we got enough to start half a promotion. We need about 4 more guys. And, you know, $10,000. And a venue that's willing to put on a show for a company that's never worked before, and a camera crew, which is part of why I've set this up. So part of me hooking up the DSLR camera to use it as a webcam is learning about how to live stream with decent cameras, connecting them all up. I have a single capture point here. I need another one at least, and then if I can do that, I can start actually live streaming like 2 cameras at once. I can have a hard cam and a roaming cam, and there we go. So we could actually stream an event. So that is part of what I did today. Kick pads with no knee pads for Kanahara. Disgusting. How dare he actually knee with his own patella. You need 20 millimeters or 15 millimeters of foam in front of that in order for it to be gentlemanly. Alright, so we're going to come back in 10 minutes after Ryugaku Wada has finished explaining the ridiculous rules. Oh, and of course I'd have to get those 3 guys, plus at least 4 others, and myself, all to agree to work on a show. Alright, here we go. Oh, guys just going out straight at it. I love it. Good to see. Just hurling punches at each other. Just absolutely no care for each other's health at all. I love this shit. This is interesting about Kingdom. I feel Kingdom was more shoot than it was given credit for. Russian Cyrillic characters. I love Kingdom, UWF, and Pancrase because according to me it's legit and not fake like WWE and all a bunch of matches. Do you consider UWF legit at all? I consider the UWF style as a legitimate martial art, as evidenced by its decent practitioners like Funaki, Suzuki, Sakuraba, and so on. As for the actual UWF itself, there wasn't a Kanahara, years and years ahead of the game. I remember that spinning back kick being pulled out by some guy in the UFC, and everyone's like, oh, we've never seen that move before, and here's Kanahara doing it in 1997. So it was a legitimate martial art. Whether or not all the matches are legit, well, obviously not. But when we got to Pancras and Rings, and to a lesser extent UWFI, they were a lot more legit than people give them credit for. There's still morons repeating the... morons posting gifs of Bus Rutan running the ropes in New Japan and being like, see, Pancras is fake! Buh, nerds. Alrighty, here we go. Nice escape out the back door from Keiichiro I was about to say Yamamiya, not Kenichi Yamamoto. Alright. Good to see both guys have got their old UWF gear on. Because whoever the gear maker was for Kingdom, they were not as good as the UWF guy. The kick pads are really badly put together. This is coming from me, who learned to put together kick pads on YouTube. 90s MMA was one giant Speedo fest. Oh, fucking love it. Alright, nice toe hold from Kanahara to get the first rope escape from Keiichiro. I keep saying Keiichiro, not Kenichi. Kenichi Yamamoto. Nice karate-style kick punch there from Kanahara, kicking on the same side. Didn't Satoru Sayama fight in Kingdom 2? I am uncertain. I don't have all the Kingdom events. I believe he made an appearance? Sort of after he'd been ousted from Shuto. A few of the Battle Arts guys would show up as well. Nice knees to the body. See, this feels shoot to me. I'm being a huge mark, of course, but insofar, I don't see any holes. And given that it's these two guys who are confident in MMA and competent at MMA, it wouldn't surprise me if they just decided to go out here and bang. Kanahara on Yamamoto's back here. Yamamoto going 2-on-1. Peeling off the hands and bringing it around the other side of his head to work the standard escape. Those Speedos are Brazilian square Sangao. They are awesome to wrestle in. Not a fan of trunks, to be honest. I've made a couple of pairs. I just don't like how they look. I'm more about the Valet Tudo shorts myself. I just prefer the way that they cup my butt and make me look very thick. So a little while ago, my girlfriend had a party. She does aerial hoop and silks and that sort of thing. And so her party was at the studio where they do that. And I dressed up in leopard skin shorts with a sleeve on. And makes my butt look pretty good, not gonna lie. There's also a great photo of me dangling from my girlfriend's feet while she's sitting in a hoop. So I'm just out here simping, apparently. That's my life now. Another escape. Kanahara. That was a little bit lazy with the half crab there. I think they're pretty similar to what those guys are wearing. Yeah, trunks are universal. Nice body punches there from Yamamoto. Ooh, nice knee from Kanahara. Into the clinch. Headlock throw. Bit of a rough Haraigoshi. Yeah, he was way up too high on the head there. Got rolled over by Kanahara. Kanahara punch into the face. Barbaric. Disgusting. Remember Marco Huas and Mario Sperry trunks? Yeah, they were fans of the trunks. Nothing wrong with fighting in Speedos. Just not my personal preference. Also, I prefer putting together Valet Tudo shorts. I find them easier to assemble. Whereas there's this pair of pink trunks that I was making for a friend of mine. They're just sitting there, just unfinished, and they've been unfinished for months. I just can't be fucked. Rings, Pancras, UWFI, U-Style, Shuto. Love these style promotions, yeah. It was aesthetically... Yeah, is aesthetically superior to mixed martial arts. And it very much disappoints me that Pride sort of killed all of these. As good as Pride was, it killed everything else. Nice body kicks from Kanahara, high kicks. What kind of beer? Wild Yak. It is not necessarily a craft beer, but it's crafty. We'll call it corporate craft. Oh, nice. Sambo tight shorts or low cut singlets? Sambo tight shorts all day. Pancras in the beginning was a work or a shoot. Still can't figure it out. Shoot. For the most part, there were between 1993 and 1995, I believe, 9 works. Like, there's a full works. Also, apologies if you get some background noise. I live next to a school and the kids are out for recess. Yeah. Spiral ride here from Kanahara. Oh! Overcommitted. Yamamoto fought for the UFC welterweight belt in 2000. Yes, he fought Matt Hughes. I'd forgotten that. He also won the UFC J tournament up against Katsuhisa Fuji, Daiji Takase. Some other guy was in that. Ooh, choke sleeper from Kanahara here. He's on the back here. He's done something very smart. He's hooked onto Yamamoto's shoulder, which is going to make it very difficult for him to extract. And there we go. Tap. And welcome aboard the stream, Christopher Kroll. Good to see you again. Your winner, Hiromitsu Kanahara. Look at all that empty space up the back. Ugh, not what you want to see. Slothmaster 101. Brian Gasway sadly died recently. Yes, I found that out. It's very disappointing. Poor fella. Because he was far too young. He was something like 57 or... Yeah, just... Oh, well. That was a man. I believe he was... Was it him or Wes who won the Super Heavyweight tournament at IFC 4? Whichever one it was, they did really, really well. Just sort of IFC staples, Pancras guys showing up every now and then. And real sort of high-level journeymen of early mixed martial arts. Those guys both have 30 or 40 fight careers. They've had 30 or 40 fights in their careers, so... Very sad to see that go, and Wesley has my deepest condolences. Not that those are worth anything, but, you know, my sympathy is there. 49, sadly lost his battle, but shit, unlucky. Not a good way to go. There's Riku Yama talking to Keiichiro Yamamiya. So in your opinion, who is the real pioneer of MMA? Sayama, Suzuki, Funaki, Takada. Oi! I'd say Fujiwara, actually. Weirdly. I think he was one of the most legit students of... Oh, no. I'll rewind on that. Satoru Sayama, definitely. Founder of Shudo. Reading... Once again, gonna plug the Kakutogi Road. Reading through his, original Shudo marketing pamphlet. And talking about how, sort of really modern concepts of cross-training, controlling the transition of each part of the fight. So even if someone is a more superior striker to you, a more superior grappler, or a superior wrestler, if you can get them at the point between striking and wrestling, and the point between wrestling and submissions, you can sort of come out on top. And that's a really interesting concept. It's one that you see the best mixed martial arts fighters apply today, even back in the late 90s, early 2000s. For example, our boy Fyodor Emelianenko, absolutely brilliant striking into wrestling. He wasn't necessarily as good a wrestler as some of the guys he would fight, not saying he wasn't great, but the fact that he could mix everything together really, really well is what made him one of the better fighters. So I'm going to say that, for me, the real pioneer of mixed martial arts is Satoru Sayama, Tiger Mask. Alright. Yamamoto looks pretty happy with the performance there. It was a good match. I quite enjoyed it, even though I was too busy bullshitting about everything else. Maybe he's cracked a tooth or something. Or he's poking himself in the mouth there. Who knows? Jean LaBelle and Chris Tolman. Yes, and also no. I love Jean LaBelle. I like a lot of the guys that LaBelle sort of trained and went from him, but I don't think he has the same level of legacy as someone like Satoru Sayama. And Chris Dolman, yeah, kinda, but how many Dutch guys are still doing MMA these days? Like, there's a bit of a resurgence due to some of the bigger glory kickboxers leaving and then coming across to UFC and mixed martial arts. But, like, you don't see Dutch MMA the same way you did back when it was Rings Holland. I'd be inclined to say that Matt Hume is actually more of a pioneer, given the level of guys that he's managed to coach. Matt Hume's a really interesting one. Moronopoli 10. So last question before I go to bed. Do you know Judge Power and Bloodsport, and what do you think about it? So you can know my detailed thoughts about Bloodsport 3 because I put together an actual review. I like it conceptually. I like several of the individual matches, but aesthetically, just the look of the show, there's still something just amiss for me. I find that the gear is too pro wrestling-y. I find that by that I mean, if you look at a shoot style promotion, no one's in multicolored tights. No one's kick pads have shit dangling off them. Everything's real clean because it's fight gear, and I find that that's lacking somewhat from the aesthetic of Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. I think the rules need an adjustment because just to make it easier to have drama. A big thing about shoot style was that the time to sell and the time to sort of hot dog to the crowd came in those knockdowns and that sort of thing. Came with the knockdowns and the rope escapes, because you've got your guy sort of getting up from the rope escape can take his time to sell his arm. You've got the guy coming up off a knockdown because, has a full 10 count to sell his head and the pain and the whatever and get ready to go. And the guy who's hit that can fucking fire up and get the crowd involved. I find that is significantly lacking in Bloodsport. Bloodsport, it's kind of, the pace is wrong. And it doesn't have those dips, which you can do the pro wrestling-y things that you need to do to appeal to the crowd. So that's my thoughts on Bloodsport. I like it. Several of the matches I've enjoyed significantly. Tom Lawler versus Alex Collin at the Bloodsport 7 was brilliant. Was really, really good. I enjoyed it immensely, especially like the Gotch tribute where he deadlifts Tom Lawler in that short arm scissors and hits that backdrop. That was fucking rad. But yeah, aesthetically, the promotion is still missing something. And I think it's come from the changes that they made to the rules in order to fit that Bloodsport-like look of fighting on a platform. There we go. Those are my distilled thoughts. Slothmaster. Weird how badly Matt Hume did in Pancras, but did great everywhere else. I think it came from being in a closed loop. So, good night, Mr. Moronopoli as well. What is going on there? My camera keeps clicking randomly. See if it's still working. Yes! Whatever. If it starts running out of battery, I'll just change over to the legit one. But yeah, I think they should change to not necessarily UWFI rule set. I find that too pro wrestling-y. I think just UWF rules of 5 rope escapes. The best promotion that is doing shoot style at the moment is GLEAT. Far and away. We'd have badly Matt Hume did in Pancras, but did great everywhere else. So I think Matt Hume's issues came from working within AMC Pancration. Before he came across to Pancras, I don't think he had enough experience in terms of martial arts outside of his little school where he's trying to reassemble mixed martial arts on his own without any external output. Once he got those connections through Pancras, once he worked out where to train and where to go, he obviously had a good mind for it and started to put together a really good, a very solid career after he left Pancras. I think he retired with as many wins as he had losses. And then after that, he went on to become an excellent coach. Alrighty, here we are. We've got the kickboxing. Nice shootboxing tights from our Japanese kickboxer here, whose names I completely missed. See, that I wouldn't mind. Yeah. Saltmaster. Do I think Bart Vale was a fraud? I mean, he did have a legit martial arts background, but a lot of fake fights as well. Alright, so Bart Vale Bart Vale marketed himself as better than he was. And that was obvious with his match against Mike Bitonio, his matches against Murakami, Dan Seven. Who else did Bart Vale fight? But he was a very, very good marketer. I think that if he had been a bit smaller, if he had not trained in his own little Parker's Kenpo sort of circle, he would have been better. I think it's sort of a curious case of Bart Vale could have been a better fighter if he had marketed himself as less of a... if he didn't have that illusion of being the shoot fighting champion of the world to maintain. Because he could have taken lesser competition, built up some wins. It's the same issue that Nobuhiko Takada had. Takada had built himself as the best fighter in the world, and so he can't go out there and fight 0-0 guys, 0-1 guys, and get sort of just genuine experience and wins. He has to go out there and get in works against against Mark Coleman. Yeah. Those are my thoughts. I've run full circle on Bart Vale. Eli Easy E, the Game Hunter, how you going? Have my shorts arrived yet? I haven't got a text message from Australia Post since they've come into America, so I don't know what they're up to. I'll have to check the thing later, the tracking number, because I am excited to see you get them. I am very confident they will fit. Because I had I made a pair of tights for a guy I train with who's a guy who's bigger than me, and I used your shorts as a starting for the pattern, and they fit really nicely on him, so I think they'll be good on you. So I'm excited. I'm excited to find out. I'm really hyped to see, given that you are my first international order. Alrighty. But yeah, there we go. Those are my thoughts on Bart Vale. So, kickboxing. Not my forte. I'm going to do my best to actually commentate on it when I see it, but I don't know how much I'm actually going to put in that'll be worthwhile. And of course, Cage Match doesn't have the kickboxing event. Doesn't have the actual names of the guys. But yeah, looks like we got shootboxing versus UWFI Muay Thai. Nice kicks here. Oof. I love the way shootboxers throw shit. It's always more interesting. It's very, very prancy and snappy. Whereas Muay Thai guys, it's like their entire body is fucking throwing that kick. Whereas shootboxers, it's like, bloop, just gonna poke you with my shin and you're gonna fall over in 10 seconds. It's a shame that shootboxing isn't a bigger sport than it was. Because aesthetically, chef's kiss. Looks great. Oh, down! Nice cross counter there. Did I see Kazmat destroy Hermanson in that wrestling match? Is going to be a handful for anyone he faces. I saw bits of it. I saw when Jack Hermanson got double underhooks and like good head position, and then Kazmat was like, "No, you are not finishing this takedown." Oh, nice! This old fella, shootboxing fella, just going here. The Muay Thai blocks. Oh god, down! Down, down, down. So this is an issue that comes from, I'm going to say Dutch Kyokushin and a little bit of Muay Thai. An over-reliance on high forearms and using your gloves to shield. If you're in smaller gloves, for example, shootboxing gloves, which I believe are 12 ounces, or mixed martial arts gloves, they can slip through. And so if you're blocking like this, there's all this space here and there's all this space here for punches to get in behind. And so not using head movement, not using your distancing, just sort of standing there and being a heavy bag and then waiting for your chance to throw back is not good. I haven't gotten the shots yet, but then again, I'm back in New York for a week to get some training done. Well, exciting. I hope that the training goes well, Eli. I saw your story about Rita's frozen yogurt or whatever it was, and I legit laughed. So I'll check the tracking number, see where they're up to. I am pissed that I said standard. I just said, give me a standard standard international post thing. And then the moment I put them in the post and they'd gone, I was like, fuck, that was the wrong thing to do. Ah, well. I know they'll get there ahead of time, but how ahead of time is up for debate. Nice punches here. This is a really good match. I've enjoyed this kickboxing. All about the kickboxing. Not really. I want to compete in Kyokushin a couple of times. Not that I think I'll be any good, but just for the cred. Ding ding. Second round. Second round definitely goes to our shootboxing guy. He got 2 knockdowns in that round. But he might have blown his wad there. Because he doesn't look great. What are they doing? Trying to massage the feeling back into his head. And Redman, I don't believe we've seen you on the stream before. If we have, I apologize. I can't remember everything in the world. But welcome aboard, and I hope you enjoy watching some Kingdom. At this point, some Kingdom kickboxing. Nice knees to the body here. Have I seen Chris Lytle's podcast yet? He has a lot of stories about 90s MMA. I saw the little bits of the Gary Myers episode talking about how Jason DeLucia is a traitor to America and Yuki Kondo's best friend. That was pretty funny. And talking about how after the head kick from Kondo, he was loopy for like 3 days, it was a big fucking kick. Have I been in touch with the most dangerous man alive today? Anything that works for you, pride-wise? Not for a while. I'm gonna do deep analysis for the next Pride event just ahead of time. So whenever he wants it, it's ready to go. But as for doing streams or anything like that, no, we haven't talked about that for a while. You gotta be. Like, I'm gonna say, oh, you know, the last event wasn't that long ago. It was probably like 3 months by now. COVID has completely ruined my sense of time. So for those of you that don't know, I work as a disability support worker. So people who are, mostly with people who have cerebral palsy, I go in, I help them sort of with sort of daily living tasks and literally just have fun and do interesting shit in a day. So while we were living in the Republic of Gladistan down here in New South Wales, not that I have any objection to it, honestly, because given that the work I do, I kind of want those people to be safe and happy and whatever else. I was working literally with just one client the entire time. So my sense of basically time between July and now has been like shortened. It was both 1 week long and also 4 months. Yeah, it was an odd time. Oh my god, you're the sweetest person. You're a caring professional in your hobby, destroying other men in the ring. Haha. I wouldn't say that. I get paid to do it, which is an important thing. I'm not sure I would if I wasn't. I think that knowing that is important. Eric Paulson, Buster and Gary Myers and Chris Lytle have said that Jason DeLucia is C-Face. I need to send Jason DeLucia a message on Facebook. I want to talk to him about his kung fu treachery. Ask if he legit put the kung fu curse on Bas Rutten before their third match. Because apparently, like, wrote some kanji in his own blood or something and then gave it as a gift to Bas Rutten. It's true, it's like medical professional and my athlete friends are all in therapeutic fields now, RMTs, etc. Yeah, the reason I do the work, one, it is rewarding. It's nice going to work every day and knowing that you're actually putting good into the world. You're not making money for somebody else. So the way that disability support works in Australia is it's tax revenue. So a portion of everybody's tax goes in towards the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, and then according to your needs, according to your wants, basically, well, needs and then wants, if you're lucky, you talk to an advocate and then they organise a disability insurance plan for you. And then you can get a certain amount of care. We're lucky with the place where I work. We've got really good advocates. We work really hard to make sure that there's a lot of documentation, there's a lot of evidence that people need, like, the maximum amount of staffing. There's a lot of guys on one-on-one, which I really like. It's good. You can actually commit to a person on one-on-one time and do what they need to do in a day. Whereas the moment you get to 2-on-1 or, God forbid, 3-on-1, you're in trouble. Like, there's no way. Oh, Rolling Thunder! Sick! Like, you just can't do what you need to do for somebody. You feed them and dress them and do personal care, and then that's it. You got no time for anything fun, which is what you're supposed to be there for. But yeah, so that's how it works here. Socialized, it's a filthy communist propaganda from Alistair Fleming here, but I believe it is a good system. I think that more countries should adopt it. There are problems with it. It is very slow. It's very difficult to get changes made. It's difficult to get people new things. But compared to people being institutionalized, people being just relying on whatever money their parents and families had, or relying on hospices, is significantly better in my opinion. Just reading through, not the guys that I work with now, but the guys that I used to work with back in Orange, reading their patient histories and then looking at like how their lives are now. As much as some of the old heads are like, oh, you know, things were better when we can just get in the bus whenever and go to the park. I'm like, yeah, but they lived in a dorm with 50 other people and there was no supervision. And yeah, I quite like my work. And I hope to continue doing it. But also, I work permanent part-time, so my days are pretty short. I only work 6 hours a day, so that gives me enough time and energy to go do the shit that I want to do. And I only work 4 days a week because I'm lazy as fuck. And that gives me time to do my sewing and make gear for people and wrestle and make these videos. So it's a good job. It all fits. One day in my life, I may need more money if I, have a family to support. But as things are now, I'm a relatively unencumbered young man. I can just do whatever the fuck I want. It's great. Alrighty, kickboxing. Oh, comeback from our Kingdom kickboxer there. He's starting to land those low kicks and working hard to set them up. Will he be able to turn it around? Because I believe this is round number 4 in a 5-round match. Oh, maybe that's what... I figured it out. I figured out what Bloodsport is missing. It's missing 10 to 20 photographers near the ring apron. Alright, final round, I think. Not Makato Oe, whatever our old mate name is. I want to... something ending Songgrit. He has got 1 round to turn this around on our shootboxing guy, because otherwise I'm pretty sure he won. Oh my god! Just covered himself in water there to make sure he's slippery. And now the poor corner has to mop it up. Alrighty. Time to go. Just checking that everything is still working the way it's supposed to. Yep. Last night's UFC card sucked. Yes, it did. The Michael Chiesa fight was pretty rad. But then again, I tried the Rolling Thunder again and got low kicked on the way down. Nicely countered by our man, the Kingdom Kickboxer. He has a name, but I've forgotten it. Nice low kicks. But yeah, I haven't watched the UFC properly in ages. They've changed their business model. It's no longer about putting on the best cards so that you sell the most tickets. It's about having enough fighters and putting on enough cards to fulfill their ESPN contract, because they're making more money that way than they would have made through anything else. So now they don't care. They don't care about the quality of the fighters. They don't care about the quality of the cards. Good matches are reserved for pay. Oh my god, nice knees, go! Go! He's doing it! Nice low kicks. But yeah, it's coming to the point where I'm going to... I've been doing a cleanup of my subscriptions recently. Like, I'm no longer an Amazon Prime member, no longer a Spotify, whatever. Cleaning up all of that and looking at what I use. And it's come to the point where I no longer am interested in subscribing to Fight Pass. So I think then I'm going to pay the next bill, and then after that I'm going to stop. Because I'm just, yeah, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. Now I'm all about a Beamer TV. Reckon you can make me those shoot boxes tights, lol. Yes, but it's going to cost you like the same amount as all 3 of your pairs of shorts. Because I have to cut a pattern for that explosion thing he's got on the side there. Oh, it goes across both butt cheeks too. That's difficult. I don't even know if I could make those. We'll talk about that. Send me a DM. But yeah, with Eli down the side, I could do very close to, but not exactly the same as those tights. I wouldn't be sewing kick pads into them though. Alrighty. Nice and easy the body there. How long is this final round? It feels like it's been 5 minutes long. Nice kick catch. Back into the clinch. And that's it. Let's ask the chat. Worst fighter in the UFC? For me, it's Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd isn't actually that bad. Aspen Ladd is a unfortunate result of being able to out-athlete everybody prior to coming to the UFC and now beating the shit out of them. There's guys who are like 4-0 or 4-1 who've been signed off the Contender Series who are no good, and then they're going to be sent packing. So, as for the worst actual fighter in the UFC, currently on contract, I wouldn't be able to tell you because there's like 500 lightweights currently under contract to the UFC, and one of them's got to be shit. And I was gonna say, I can't remember her name. Randa Marcos. I was gonna say she's not great. She's bad. She was on like a 5 or 6 fight losing streak. She's she's talented and tough and whatever else, but she just wasn't able to compete. Whoever else is in the 125 division apart from Valentina Shevchenko. There we go. A draw apparently. Based on that final round, maybe. Although there were 2 knockdowns, so that round has to be a 10-8. Conor McTapper. I don't even know who that is. Oh, Conor McGregor. I'm sick of him. Don't talk about him. He doesn't exist. Slothmaster 101. I'm bummed out that Conor broke his leg because I love seeing him get beat down. That's the problem. He's a heel now, and he's just shit. I just don't like watching him anymore. And the problem is that people are still rabid fans, even though he hasn't done anything interesting for years. And he's gone and he's fucking his life up on the outside. And because he's surrounded by yes men, because SBG Island got extremely lucky with him, his coach isn't a coach anymore. His coach is a motivational speaker for him and just tells him, yes, you're the absolute best in the world, Conor, just keep doing what you're doing, even though he's fucking his life up. So, there we go. I feel like he's gonna snort himself to death or just disappear. The Jose victory was a fluke? No, he was very, very good. And the problem is he bought into himself being very, very good, and then he stopped doing the work. And then people caught up. I've always wanted to happen to those one-off guys. As in, like, one-and-dones in the UFC or one-and-done in Kingdom. In terms of one-and-done in the UFC, they go off and they can ask a better price for... they can come in, get their one UFC fight, and then go and ask for better prices wherever they go else in the world. That's... Honestly, if I get back into being a pro fighter, that's my plan. Get to 4-0... get matched up in short notice on an Australian regional card, and then they'll say, all right, well done, Alistair, you pulled out a fluke submission, do you want this UFC contract? And I'll say no, bye, and then go crush regional cans for years and years. Poor boy, battle scars. Yeah, I think he's hematomed his own chin. He might have chipped a bone there, kicking into a check. Speaking of shins, I need to condition mine again. This is interesting. I believe our fella is speaking Japanese with a Thai accent. Alrighty, who we got? I've enjoyed 1FC a lot more than UFC. Yeah, but 1FC is eventually going to come falling down. Alistair needs to be the Australian Jeremy Horn. I wouldn't mind being the Australian Jeremy Horn. Oh, this is Gerard Gordeau's brother.
I think every time something changes, it has to be an improvement. So I think it's going to be better than before. And I hope that everything's going to be work out for everyone. Very good for the organization and for the fighters and the audience. So I think it's going to be an improvement.
My plan isn't to be the Australian Jeremy Horn. My plan is to be the Australian Daisuke Nakamura. But I better get to work on that pretty soon. Another dirty eye-gouging Tito lol. Less so. Less so than Gerard. Fuck Gerard. This guy's kind of okay. What's his name? Nikolai Gordo. There we go. How old am I now, son? I'm 30. Well, nearly 30. I'm 29. I'm sniffing at the arse of 30. But I don't have the level of injuries that a lot of guys who've gone into combat sports my age have. So I feel like I've got a nice mix of maturity and the ability to remain in shape. But yeah, I look like a baby. I have the biggest baby face in the entire world. I still occasionally get carded. Like, I'm in there buying beer, and they're like, how old are you, son? I'm like, 29? I'm sorry. Yeah. So I really got to get to work on that shit. But yeah, I found MMA quite late. I was 22 before I started training. And then 25 when I had my first fight. And then, yeah, I've been inactive for 2 years. It's fucked. I really need to get back into it. I don't even watch Rise anymore. They need a streaming service or something because they're not paying $40 for a PPV. Exactly. I miss when they were on Fight because it was affordable on Fight. It was like $15 or $16, which wasn't so bad. I'm on a Beamer TV now. I cleaned up all my other subscriptions and now I'm only on a Beamer. I'm only watching Noah and Crush Kickboxing. Here's Daijiro. Alright, I think Daijiro's in the new Kingdom kick pads, so we can have a look at them and see that they are shit, because I'm going to tell you why they're shit. And I've got a kick pad here to provide an example. But yeah, Ryzen need to sort their shit out, because they're deep now. They've collapsed down to like a deep level card, whereas before they were the shit. I don't think they're going to be able to maintain, unless they start putting on bigger shows, which is going to be difficult given the current fucking shit everywhere. It's going to be hard for them to like maintain that premier image, and it's definitely going to be hard for them to maintain like the ability to charge $40 for a fucking card. Alright, Daijiro's in some plain blue tights. Boring. I feel like maybe Daijiro Matsu was broke. When it comes to watching fights, I just wait for a 90s upload on YouTube. You're pretty much the same. Currently, I'm on like a massive Kyokushin kick. I watch a huge amount of Kyokushin. Ref! He was dangling onto the ropes there. Yeah. Nikolai Gordo, cheating Dutchman, as usual. So he's wearing custom knee pads, but his kick pads are awful, and his tights, I think, are just store-bought. So he needs to sort that shit out. I watch Shotokan. Is Shotokan the one where they bounce in and tap each other annoyingly? Whichever one was in the Olympics. where the gold medalist for Olympic karate got KO'd in his last match because he dove in without his face. Ah, damn it, I missed it. We'll have to get another angle. I'll wait until Daijiro Matsui is out of half guard and we can see his the construction of his kick pads. I'm going to tell you why they're shitty. Alright, he's climbing on the back here. Yeah, he's just wearing champion tights. I'm annoyed what happened. I'm annoyed what happened to all sporting companies. They used to make sporting goods, shit you'd wear to do sporting, and now it's sporting fashion. Just shitty tracksuits and shitty hoodies. And no, like Champion used to be the tights of a Russian or Dutchman coming over to rings, whereas now they're just the tights of somebody who wants to wear something comfortable in the day and doesn't want to dress up. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Go Daijiro! Or Shinsuke. Whichever he's calling himself today. No, his feet are down. See, this is what's difficult about the Kingdom rules. It's like, your feet are down, Daijiro. You're not allowed to punch him. Oh, wait, your feet are on the ground. Okay, you are allowed to punch. Trying to go out the back for the arm lock, but Mr. Nikolai Gordeau, too big. Alrighty. Oh, nice hook kick. Nice high kick, too, from Nikolai. Nikolai can fucking fight. Nikolai's better than Gerard, in my opinion. Why did we get Gerard going? Have I ever seen Felony Fights? I have not. I watched a little bit of Fight Circus last time it was on. I watched the phone booth Lethway. Low single from Daijiro Matsui again, going out the back. Smart. I think he just got high kicked in the ground. Alright, pause. 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 No, pause. Alright, you see how crumpled up and fucked up Daijiro Matsui's kick pads are? That is because they are not constructed correctly. I'm going to have a little rant here. So, a kick pad. It needs to have these in it. So these, it remains a solid piece of foam, but it's got little cutouts, and the cutouts allow it to bend. Daijiro's are constructed as 3 pieces. One bit here, another bit here, and another bit here. And they look like shit, and then the moment you bend your leg, it gets all fucked up and just bends itself. It also happens if your foam isn't stiff enough. It'll, if you're wearing wrestling shoes underneath, it gets fucked up at the ankle. And so that's it. He should have bought some high-quality Alistair kick pads. Or he should have gone where everybody else in the UWF was going. I believe they had Isamis at the time. And should have kept a hold of those. But no, he bought some garbage ones from the Kingdom gear maker, and they looked fucking shitty. Alistair kick pads, guaranteed not to crumple up. Yes, they are, because they're also custom-made to your size, so they sit in the right fucking spot. I genuinely haven't had an issue with them shifting, except when they got fucked up in the ropes. So, there we go. Buy my stuff. Alistair's gear rant about Daijiro Matsui and not spending the money on his gear finished. Probably because he was giving all his money to Takada. Again, this camera keeps making weird click-clack noises. Oh, there we go. I don't know why it does that. I gather I'm disappearing for like a couple of seconds at a time. We'll find out later on when I go back to watch the stream. It's part of the issue of just this thing. I'll have to work on the setup, make sure this doesn't happen. Working his takedowns here on Nikolai. Nikolai doesn't have Gerard in his corner, which is weird. I haven't seen Gerard around. Nikolai can wrestle too. I rate Nikolai as a fighter compared to Gerard Gordeau. He has cheated half as much, actually knows moves. Why did we get Gerard Gordeau? Bring back Nikolai. Oh, nice! Just Rice bailed him up with a chokehold as well. Again, this feels shoot. No punch, they're saying, because he's caught up in. I think it's based on judo rules, honestly. Like, if it would count as a judo pin, you're allowed to punch. But given that he's not currently pinned, he's not allowed to hit him. But, like, what happened to Daijiro Matsui's UWFI gear? He had some nice white stuff that he wore for his debut. Why isn't he wearing that now? Oh, nice nice sweep. Nice submission attempt here from Daijiro. Get the arm, Daijiro. Get the arm. You gotta turn him over, Daijiro. Nice. That's a good armbar, judo style. I'd like to see you interview these old boys more regularly on your channel. You're Australian Joe Rogan. You have a great broadcaster ability. Well, thank you very much, Bro Perkins. However, I take umbrage with the Australian Joe Rogan. Unlike him, I believe in the Earth being round. But yeah, I would like to do more. I did send off a list of questions to Sam Nest, who fought for rings. But just the issue is I'm not known enough. Like, if I send somebody, I'm a fan of this stuff, I want to interview you, the follow through isn't there because who the fuck am I? Oh, knockdown again! Nikolai Gordeau fucking him up here. Get up, Daijiro! There we go. But yeah, I've got to get back to Larry Papadopoulos. I have contacted Chris Hazeman. I have to follow up with again because we did that first one. I sent him another email, but I think I sent it to his old email address, so I've got to recontact him. Yeah, I got to get back on that shit. But the issue is, I also contacted Guy Mesga a while ago, and then I just never followed that up. So the issue is, a lot of my time gets taken up by making gear and trying to wrestle and do this. It's just whether or not I have enough follow through and whether or not they have enough follow through. It's this isn't my day job, so it's kind of hard to do sometimes. Well, no, knockout! Fucking Nikolai killed him! Killed him with that high kick, and he doesn't look particularly impressed with himself. And Gerard doesn't look particularly impressed with him either. So maybe that wasn't supposed to happen. Who knows? But Daijiro Matsui, he's dead now. Just got murked. And Nikolai Gordeau's gi pants are falling down. And he has no idea where he is or what he's doing. Gerard's telling him, come to the back. Don't respect your opponent. Don't obey the rules. Daijiro has no idea who he is or what he's doing with his life. Yeah. Why did we get Gerard Gordeau as the brother that came? Because apparently Nikolai Gordeau is a half-decent human being from the looks of things, unlike his cunt brother. And he can just do that over the top rope, so there you go. A big boy. He is not in a good way. But I do like what they're doing, cooling down the blood going into his brain.
Improving every time I went here, and it's always a hard job. Of course, it has to be, because not anyone can join this tournament, of course. But again, my opponent was very strong, and he keep on going, good stamina, and I appreciate that. I give me regards to him, compliments.
See what I got? Nikolai Gordeau, apparently half decent.
Like a lot of styles and rules, but the best tournaments.
Who was going to expect that? That the brother of Gerardo would turn out to not cheat super hard and also apparently be half decent in an interview.
Restricted to, let's say, in boxing, only punching. That is a waste because you have more on your body, and if you can use everything, well, that's 100% good.
Kind of a sad dad. Yeah, a little bit. We can put him in the stern dad. He can put him in our MMA dads pile, along with Andrei Kopylov, Dan Severn, and Nikolai Gordeau. Don't interview Daijiro. He has no idea who he is or where he is in the world. Look at that photo. I like that photo. It's a good one. Look at that empty Tokyo. Ooh, Saku! This is exciting. See, Saku's in good gear. Because it's his custom shit from his UWFI days. We might put a pin in this after the Kazushi Sakuraba interview. Because I do have some other repairs and knee pad shit to do today. So what we're going to do, we're going to watch the following match, which is Kazushi Sakuraba versus Yuhi Sano. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it there. Because I've been talking for an hour and a half. And then I got to do some more talking today. And I got shit to do. So, I hope that this match between probably the two best performers on the card, Sakuraba and Yuhi Sano, is definitely going to be there. Daijiro is still my favourite. Too bad I'm going to have to knock him out like Goto just did when I go to Glee. Exactly. Daijiro Matsui is doing great at the moment in shoot style. He's still in really good shape. He's like thick through the middle. He's like still technically quite good. So, you know, I'm glad that he's still gleating as he is. But he definitely, back in the day, he wasn't as shoot capable. And unfortunately that resulted in him taking some serious beatings. Saku wearing his sick Kingdom tracksuit like a cape. Good look, 10 out of 10. Here comes Yuhi Sano. I think Sano's still in, it's in a variation of his old SWS gear. With the blue stripe down the side. Well, blue with the red stripe down the side. Because I think we saw that in his time of the SWS and Fujiwara Gumi co-promotion. But yeah, Yuhi Sano's up there as one of my favorites. Despite being a little bit of a lump of shit in shoots, he's definitely one of the better guys. Feel like he deserved more. Because was it his match against Hoyle Gracie? That was awful. Pride Resurrection's going to have to tell me, because I remember Yuhi Sano showing up one time for an awful match in Pride, which we can forgive him for, but we can't forgive his opponent for. Man, Sano and PWFG versus this night, he got fat. He got a little chunk. He's still in, like, decent shape. Like, he's just a bit more solid. See, there he is, looking thick, solid, and tight. He's just a bit more chunky because he's been bulking, been on that Ken Shamrock diet. Worst fight of all time, Yuhi Sano versus Hoyle Gracie. But we can forgive Sano for it. We will never forgive Hoyle Gracie. You see, Saku's in the right gear. See, he's got the he's got the divots cut in the foam so that it bends, still protects your ankle, but doesn't crumple. And Sano, same thing, because Sano's is probably his SWS gear when they had a lot of money. Alrighty. And sub-referee Ryugaku Wada, so that should be interesting. Whether or not he interferes, starts blowing whistles, starts shoving people back in the ring. Tore up by Yamamiya pretty bad. I think Yamamiya uncrooked his eye for it. Oh yeah! The match... So I believe that was supposed to actually be Yamamiya versus Daijiro Matsui. And then Matsui got injured. And Yuhi Sano came in as a late replacement against Yamamiya, who... Despite getting choked out twice by Buzz Rutten in the one fight, he's a very good fighter. He just wrecks him, just headbutts him to death, and just opens up this massive cut on poor Sano's face. Oh, poor guy. Great shit from Yamamiya, but yeah. Ah, Sano coming out with a big Tiger Mask spinning back kick. Another one! Love it! 10 out of 10. Another one! Yes! Sano versus Gracie was bad, but 7 versus Shamrock 2 was right up there with it. Yeah. I don't think we'd seen such, like... But with Sano versus Gracie, if Gracie had gone at any point and actually committed to trying to finish the fight, I believe he would have armbarred Sano, but he just didn't. For ages, for no reason. Oh, nice switch and turnover. This is shoot style, but it's good shoot style so far. Sakuraba doing the job. We shall see. But so far, quite a fun match. This is in my opinion what shoot style should be. It's reality plus. So Sano's out here throwing spinning back kicks and whatever else. But the defenses are legitimate. The attacks are legitimate moves that can be pulled off in a fight, just not necessarily all in the same fight. Nice elbow recovery from Sano there. Working the grips, probably going for a Karashi Higi here. Like he did for Kimo. Just kidding, I don't believe that was work. I don't believe it was work either. Fucking Kimo beat the fuck out of him. If it was a work, it wasn't good. It's like that time that Kimo beat Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow's like, oh, I'm the highest paid jobber in the whole world. And then he just got fucked on by Kimo. Jesus. There's a child screaming outside my window because kids are murdering each other as they do in recess. So if that gets picked up, I apologize. Toe hold from Saku here. Doesn't have the knee caught, so Sano's in very little danger. Like his foot just slipped out. Going back to the Karashi Higi. When did that kid get arrested for being out during lockdown? No, we're all done. Everyone's fucking vaccinated now. We're at like 93% of the entire state. So, yeah, pretty much everything. You're allowed to do everything. You just got to be wearing the old face mask while you do it. Like, I'm back wrestling. I'm back working in the center. Everyone's starting to go out again. I go to the club every Wednesday with one of my clients. Life's mostly back to normal. It's nice. I don't know why. Like, there's all these weird protests and shit going down in Melbourne for no reason. Because they're literally about to come out of lockdown. It's fucked. I don't know. I don't understand people. Pro wrestling headlock here from Yugi Sano. Let's see what Saku... Oh, Saku just slips out the back. Child, however, should be arrested for being too loud. Saku falling off. Overcommitting to the back while standing. Like, don't believe Joe Rogan when he talks about Australia. It's genuinely not remotely bad. It was worse when we started this, honestly. As much as people are going to complain about it, because people complain about any moderate inconvenience in their lives, from where I sit, I believe that the response was proportional, and as far as I can tell, everything now is pretty much fine. Like, our numbers are super low compared to comparable populations in the United States. We have tiny little, baby little case numbers. And so now, you know, I went out. Going to parties and going out to the bar and whatever else. And back to wrestling. We've got wrestling events on, which I went to. Life's normal, so fuck. Don't believe that that TV host to tell you that you should invade Australia to free us from tyranny. Fucking please don't do that. Life's fine. Alright, backstanding. Also, just our current government's getting cleared out for corruption at the moment. It's great. Our Premier and Deputy Premier are both getting grilled by the Internal Committee Against Corruption. It's fucking great. Although they're former now, because they both retired to avoid scandal. Nice takedown from Yugi Sano there. But yeah, the energy in this match feels very different to the energy in the Kanahara versus Yamamoto match. Double wrist lock from Saku. Classic. Have we had any rope escapes? Oh, yes we have. We've had it down too. My brain's just not working. I've hit that point in the day where I need a nap. Saku's stuck down here on the double wrist lock, getting peeled out by our man Yugi Sano. Kingdom needs to come back. It does indeed. But apparently there was an event in 2021 in Brazil by somebody using the Kingdom name, so we'll find out. And there's also a Kingdom Pro Wrestling in Australia, but it's just standard indie shit. Ugh. Oh, big slam from Sano. And fucking Sakuraba's head bounced off the canvas. Shitty bump, Sakuraba. Sano's in on the armbar. Saku gets the rope escape. Okay, so I get that Sakuraba came out in the blue corner and that Yuhi Sano came out in the red corner, but they really should have done that the other way around. Because Sakuraba's in the orange gear and Yuhi Sano's in the blue gear. Really should have matched that shit. Wonder who owns the... Oh, nice! Knockdown from Sano again. I wonder who owns the name so I can make a documentary and then copyright the name in the States and book my events. Nice! Shots fired from Eli here. Yeah. I don't know. You'd have to talk to Sakuraba about who promoted the Kingdom shows. We can ask William Colosimo. We'll send him a message and say, can you talk to... Oh, nice! Suplex into the short choke from Sakuraba there. See, here's the time. Here's where you sell. Here's where you get the crowd involved. That's how you make the match have pacing rather than just a general acceleration over the period of time. Alrighty. So for those of you that don't know why I found that so funny, it's kind of what's happened with Pancras USA. I'd probably pay all the debts the Kingdom had in order to get the name. I don't know, maybe you'd be able to buy it for like $1.50. By this point, I feel like all of that shit, it's what, nearly 20 years ago. I feel like a moratorium and all that has passed. I'll just call it Kingdom Martial Arts or something. The camera couldn't take Alistair's face anymore. Has it died? Has it? Ah, no! I think it's out of battery. Or it's overheated, one of the two. Alrighty. Add source. There we go, match over. Alright, I should be back on the screen now. There we go. Alright, we'll get rid of that. Click the vision button. There we go. I'm back. I'm back, people. I exist. I'm a real boy. So that's good to know. It's good to know that the battery in that can last an hour and a half. But we'll call it there, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna hit the old pause button. Our man, our winner, Kazushi Sakuraba. So not actually doing the job because they actually recognized that he was quite good. Thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, to today's Kingdom stream. I hope to do another one of these at some point in the near future. As always, this was brought to you by Michael Betts over on the Kakutogi Road. He puts together a comprehensive history of mixed martial arts as it arose out of Japan during the late 80s, early 90s, going event by event. And interviewing whatever fighters he can find. So far, he's found Billy Scott and Mark Fleming, and both those interviews are extremely interesting. Also, I make professional wrestling and martial arts gear. These are shit. These are usable in both contexts. They are comfortable. They do adequate foam like kick padding thing. They are genuine kick pads. They're not just fucking high spots, little shitty show things. I also do knee pads, which survive fucking jumping from top ropes and death matches and all sorts of that shit. So, and I do shorts. So, if you're interested in a set of that, send me a fucking email. Otherwise, watch some of my highlight videos because they take a lot of work and are brilliant. And I shall see you all in the near future. And I'm very happy to have streamed for you all today. Goodbye, one and all. Oh, do I keep up with Harada's podcast at all? Not at all. So I might have to do that in future. All right.